Na 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 na. See. What's up, guys? How you doing? How you doing? If you're a Chelsea fan, I know you buzzing. You having a good day. Your morning, your afternoon, your evening is going great. But welcome to Famous Football. I'm your host Nate. Let's talk football. Oof. Yeah. Review. What a game. This thing. A win is a win. I'm gonna start with that. A win is a win. But the entire game as a whole, I told you it was gonna be a difficult game. Much difficult game than what we had at West Ham, right? I told you West Ham didn't really show up. West Ham showed up for 15 minutes, and that was it. But I know Fulham was gonna be on it. They were gonna bring every single thing there is to bring in terms of trying to get a win. They control, especially within the first half. They were aggressive. They control most part of the game in terms of possession, whatever it was. They were on it. They were calm in possession. They didn't really force anything, right? Their goalkeeper alone, he was also calm. Now, there were things he was doing. I was like, this is mad. Sanchez, don't look at him. Please don't copy anything from him, all right? Because we know what you like. They were calm in possession. They were aggressive as well. Very physical. Very, very physical. Especially Lukic, man, this guy, yeah, he was causing all sort of problem, bro. Every single foul, he have something to do with it. Either somebody pulling him or he definitely pulling somebody. And most of the time, he was pulling somebody. Lukic, listen, he was on it. He was very brilliant for them in terms of bringing that physicality into the midfield. And I think within the second half, I said the second half, the first half, Chelsea absolutely struggled with that because even Casado, that is usually the one that brings that physicality into our midfield or into the midfield that is dominant in that form. Now, we come to him, he later found his form within the game, but within that first half, Lukic was the man in terms of physicality that was controlling that midfield, right? He was on it. He was absolutely on it, right? Brilliant performance from him. And then their youngster, King, right? Unlucky to him. Now, he scored a brilliant goal that should have counted. Listen, whatever you think, you think. You go explain, tire. No, listen, a win is a win. But that was very unlucky from the youngster. That could have been his first goal against for Fulham, his first professional goal for Fulham against Chelsea. Do you know what that means? Yeah, nuts. But that didn't happen. He showed great composure and everything before the goal. Brilliant performance for him. But he was unlucky. The goal got cancelled. Nunes also, the reason why the goal got cancelled, everybody that play football, you won't look at that and go, that's a foul, right? Absolutely not. If you think that was a foul, something serious wrong with you. But we didn't make the rules. Yeah, no Chelsea fan make the rules. You can call FIFA, you can call the Premier League, you can send them an email if you want. Yeah, report whatever you have to report. You go explain, tired, but unlucky for him because that was a skill move. He would have to learn somewhere. Unfortunately for him, and that of Chalobah, he would landed on Chalobah. Not very unfortunate for Chalobah, and the goal got ruled out because of that. And I don't think the goal should have, been ruled out. But did that actually have something to do with the game? Did that affect the game in some sense? Maybe, because I think even after that, they still had some sort of a control over the game. They were still doing what they came to do. They were still, implementing their game plan. And in terms of that, I would give Chelsea the kudos and say for being able to withhold, maintain, show some sort of a strength in, whatever pressure Fulham was bringing to them. They withheld their own, barely, but they did until they were able to find their rhythm again. And that was what I talked about in my preview. And I was like, don't start the game slow, and we did again. Right, so our first three games in the Premier League, we have started very slow. If you pay attention to what Chelsea doing, now the way we start the game, we let the opponent have the upper hand. They have the momentum. They assert themselves into the game, and that becomes difficult for us to find our rhythm. So now it's going to take time. Now you see, if you pay attention to the entire game, after the goal, like after our first goal, the first goal of the game, because the kid go without. That was when we found our rhythm, right? But until then, we were struggling. We lost scrapping. Nothing was happening. We could barely connect 5 passes. We struggled to do what we want to do. The midfield was disorganized. Everything looked, out of place. Everyone was struggling. Even Chalobah in the first half. Casado, Enzo had one of his worst game in the Chelsea kit, but he scored the penalty. So that kudos to him. We'll come to each and every individual player, but For Fulham, unlucky, unlucky. But Michael Silva, hold that. Hold that. You were talking mad things in press conference, bro. There is 3 points to grab. What's wrong with you? And guess what? We got the 3 point. Yeah? Less of that. Hold that. But listen, a win is a win. But let's get into what Chelsea individually, right? First of all, we started with Sanchez in goal, right? Pretty much, if you watch my preview, pretty much the lineup that I suggested, right? Was what happened. Sanchez in goal, Cucurella on the left, Tosin and Chaloba, and then Malo Gusto. Right now, I had reached him instead of Malo Gusto, but Malo Gusto started. And then we also have the two people that, you know, the champions of midfield, the midfield heroes, the people that own midfield, the people that invent midfield, yeah, the both of them, yeah, the engineers of it. Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez in the midfield, and then we have Pedro Neto on the left hand side, yes, Joao Pedro, and then Esteval. You have Delap up front. Now Delap came up injured, but he was also doing his part until he had to come out injured, right? So it was going to be interesting to see because even when he was on the page before he got out, Chelsea picked up a little bit of a rhythm, right, with him being on the pitch. And after he went out, it fell off because the energy level kind of dropped because you went from Delap to George, right? Now George did what he had to do, right? Kudos to the kid. Maybe this might be his last game in a Chelsea kid. Now he came up for Delap, like I said, did what he had to do, right? Nothing, over the top, nothing below. He just did what he had to do. This might be a last game for Chelsea, so well done to him. But we saw, there was a little bit of a shift in terms of the energy level, and then the little momentum Chelsea pick up also dropped. But so the lab went out, Josh came in, and then the game continued. But Sanchez decent, right? Sanchez did decent. Now I think he only had to make one save, like good save in the game, right? I think there was a two ball he blocked it. Great kudos to him. Cucurella first half was not the best. The entire team first half was not the best. But Cucurella showed up again. In Cuckoo did his thing. Cuckoo was cuckooing, yeah. Cuckoo was cuckooing, yeah. The man did what he had to do. Tossing, I told you, is one of the underrated player on the team for me, right? The man put in a shift every day. Like his height, I don't know. He make up for. He do so many things that people don't really notice. He's great in the air. His passes are great as well. Chaluba, right? You saw that pass to Chaluba that he made to Jean Pedro. Yeah, Jean Pedro, what were you doing, man? You had the chance to add a brace. You and Esteva is our Brazilian thing that we pull you through on 1v1 with a goalkeeper. You just ruined it. Yeah, you put it together. But Chalobah, man, respect on this brother name. Respect on his name. That's what I have to say. Whatever Chelsea is doing, he is not for sale. Yeah, we have to put some sort of a sticker or tattoo on his forehead or something. Not for sale. He's not going anywhere. We keeping him. Yeah, we are keeping him. I don't care. I told you about Gusto. If Gusto is bumping up and down, you getting the best thing that you can possibly get from Gusto, right? No problem. You getting the best thing you can possibly get from Gusto. Tackles, it would be in. What else do you want? Now, don't. He shouldn't be shooting on goal. That we know that he need to be working on it. But every other thing, link up play with the wingers, he's good with it, right? His run, his shout out, well done, Gusto. That's all I can say. Keep it up, yeah. And Casedo, yeah, Casedo, the firstborn of Kante. Kante and Makalele have a kid. It's basically Casedo. That's what you get. Kante, Makalele have a kid. You get Casedo. Yeah. He was doing Casedo thing. Like I said, in the first half, everybody was for. Nobody did anything. But they later pick up their phone and Casedo came alive and brought that physicality, brought that control again. Protect the backline that he usually does. So Casedo was doing Casedo thing. Enzo Fernandez didn't really have one of the best game ever for a Chelsea player. No. I mean, there's one of other games we have seen Enzo play. There was nowhere close to one of his best games. Now he got the penalty. He scored brilliant, right? And that kind of put him out there. So he kind of make up for areas that, and that's one of the things we're talking about, right? If you have this opportunity, those chances, you bury it. is good for the team because not every day we're gonna have a brilliant performance as a team. Sometimes we have to get a scrappy win, and I feel like today was almost kind of it. Now, even though some may argue that the referee decision kind of favor us a little bit, right? So another brilliant performance from him. Not too much as compared to West Ham, but we know he also did. He came off later in the game for no, he came up later in the game for Santos and reached him when they came on. But then you have Joao Pedro. The man can stop scoring, right? 5 goals in 5 starts for Chelsea. Yesterday, Chelsea, my apologies for saying I didn't want him at the club. Yeah, my apologies to you, Mr. Todd. Yeah, I sincerely apologize. Keep this brother. Yeah, keep this time. Henceforth, whenever you go into to Brighton to go do business, I won't say anything. I promise. I will not say anything because Brighton, you guys are you're doing the business, but brilliant performance. He got on the score sheet. Not just that, his work rate was something I also recognized in this game. He's playing as a 10, dropping in, defending. He was even defending more than Esteva, in my opinion, right? And I think Esteva was one of the people that maybe would join the attacker. So when we pressing, when we defend, especially in that 4-4-2 block. So I think Esteva would join the lab or Josh to kind of start the press. But he dropping in, man. The guy was brilliant. Like you saw his goal line clearance as well. Another, so it's not just that he's good in front of goal and he's creative, that he's get involved in the play. He's also putting in a shift in terms of work, right? His work rate is also high up there, and well done to him. But then Esteval, yeah, the youngster. Again, the first half everybody was quiet. The second half he came alive. We saw him with a little bit more of the ball, and Basse, is it Basse? Is it your name? Basse? Yeah, Basse. Yeah, Basse had a busy day, right? He put Basse on your toes a little bit, yeah. He didn't give Basse a little bit to worry about too. But again, he too have to work on his decision making, in my opinion, because I feel like the one time that I think in the first half when he had Basse, right, he was gone. He was already gone. Now you have Joao Pedro in that open space for a little bit. All you needed to do was just give him the ball, but you delay a little bit. You play the ball, it got blocked, right? I think he also, and then in the second half, we also saw something like that where he could have made a pass to Joao Pedro, but now we can also make the same case for other players as well. He too were also in better position, but I know as an attacker, when you're in front of goal, your instinct is to shoot, right? Oftentimes, and some for quality of player like him that is good in front of goal, I understand why you have to shoot, but you should also be aware of your environment, who's around you, and what you can do, to kind of help the thing. But Reece James came on, right? El Capitan showed himself up, right? The man did what he had to do as Capitino, the best right back that ever existed. Eh? That's going a little too far, but you get the gist. And Gatins also came on, not too bad, but you know, like I said, all those people are warming up to the league. Santos came on, and he also looked good, right? And yeah, but then I'll go another corner kick. This thing, are we turning into a corner FC, bro? Enzo Fernandez put it in. Ja Pedro, headed home. Yeah, how about that? And I already talked to you about the penalty. Now there was a little controversy with Ja Pedro, right? But it said it wasn't intentional. This thing, you can't blame me. I didn't make the rules. No Chelsea fan make the rules. You go explain. Tired. But hey, we put two past there. I said we're gonna win 3-1. We couldn't keep it clean sheet. Listen, partially I was right. Right now, we didn't score a third goal, but not keep a clean sheet. That goal should have come, but it didn't. And we got a win and brilliant performance. Not necessarily brilliant performance, but hey, we got the win. We got the win, and I'm happy for that, right? And I'm excited that we honestly got the win and do a better because I feel like things like this kind of build character, kind of build the spirit of the team because you know not every day you're gonna have a brilliant game, not every day you're gonna have control of the entire game, not every day you're gonna have a way, but then that tenacity, that energy that you have to be able to grind or win even when the game is not in your favor, even when everything is it's not with you, right? That's what we're looking for. But today was a beautiful day. But for me, stand-up performance, I'll give it to Ja Pedro, number one, and then like I said, Chalobah, put respect on this man name. Ja Pedro, he's killing it, right? No Palmer, no problem, no problem. But we know Jackson is off. Now I'll bring another transfer video to talk about everything that's happening in terms of Jackson, Sinso deal, the new kid, Facundo from Brighton, everything that's going on in terms of transfer. So I'll bring another video. Stay tuned for that. But let me know your thoughts. Are you buzzing? Yeah. If you're a Chelsea fan, are you happy? If you're not a Chelsea fan, are you happy for us? It's okay to be happy. Let me know your thoughts down below, guys. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. See you later. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Yeah, I need it. Yeah. And don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Much appreciated. See you later. Thanks.